So we'll start off by just looking at some of the basic things that we can get through the AI. Now, this isn't specifically just for field service, it does work throughout the whole platform, but we're able to use the natural language search and functionality. So if I want to maybe bring back certain users in a certain organizational group, I can actually just type that in, it will go away, it will run my query. It's normally quicker than this, so if you just bear with it. There we go, so it's brought back all of the resources who are available in Wales. Now we can expand that as well, so we can say, right, okay, maybe let's take not just the ones that are in Wales, let's maybe go for adding a skill in here. So let's go for something very Scottish. Let's look at all contacts all resources who are a contact type with the name Archie. So we can do that quite quick, quite simple, and it'll bring through to that information very quickly. So it just shows you the ability and the power of the platform to get the information really quickly. So we now don't have to add columns, do filters. We can do this really, really quickly. So we're going to just expand on that and look for a contact called Albin, who is in a business unit in the Northeast. Again, information is on the screen, so as long as it's on the screen at the time, we can bring that back, and yep. And because it's a demo, obviously it doesn't work for me. So let's just skip into the characteristics. So let's have a look at characteristics. So we work a lot with people who need security checks. So let's bring back everyone who has had a DBS check. So you can see we've got about 260 records of everyone who has a DBS check. So that's bringing everyone back who has that check. Now we can add more fields to the form. So we could add in, let's say, the issue date. So if there was an issue date for that person, we could do a quick search and bring back people whose names or the business units that they were in or the certificates that they had. And we can put that in and populate it from there. So we'll go into the schedule board and just have a look at the new functionality that's in the schedule board around AI. So you can see we're just heading to the schedule board now, and on the schedule board we're going to have a list of all of the resources, we're going to have a look at all of the open requirements. So you'll see here the organisational units that we looked at earlier are all on the top in different schedule boards, and then we can look at what we've got scheduled for today, who's scheduled, etc. So on this one it seems that nobody's scheduled, so we're just going to go into a work order for now. Now one of the vast improvements is the AI capability and the ability to get Copilot reviews of the cases. So what it does, it looks at everything that's either on the form or off the form, pulls all that information together and then summarises it. Now, you may ask why summarise everything that's on the screen? But in this instance, you might give certain people with certain job roles only access to 2 or 3 things on that form. They might only see the work order, who it's for and when it's due. But they'll be able to go in, they will look at the skills that are needed, who reported it, what's been done to it, when it's been scheduled to do. So you'll see here we're just putting some sample data in. If I use the Copilot, it's now going to come away and tell me exactly what's happening with that, if there's anything that we need to know. So you'll see on the left hand side where we put the password to get into the building, that's going to appear at the bottom, just to say here we go. So anything that we've added to that form is obviously now appeared here. So for me, rather than going in, looking at everything one by one, clicking buttons, scrolling through multiple tabs, I can just use Copilot to quickly generate me that information. Because I like the Microsoft technology, I'm just going to give it a wee thumbs up to tell Microsoft how awesome it is. Now, the next panel we've got is actually a PCF. Now, within that PCF, there's still a lot of AI and automation in the background. So if you think of a generic model-driven app, you're seeing some things here that are rendering that are not normal, just fields, charts, and views. This PCF is using some AI in the background to update the status of work orders, to post them, to get invoices. So if on this work order, if I was using products and I was using services, it would go away and it would pull all that information through and give me the values that have been done. As I say, all this is just working in the background. We can come back out to the views and have a look at everything that's in there as well. So as I say, if I go in here and start adding some products and services, that information will all pull through. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the bookings and the resources. So we're just going to pick up a booking, and as a member of the team, I want to just have a quick look at what bookings are scheduled for tomorrow. So again, just natural language query. What jobs are booked tomorrow? And it will bring back everything that's scheduled and booked. Now again, it only brings back the information on the screen, but if I go and add in more fields or even related fields, I can go and populate that information. So anything here extra that I want, I can go in, I can get that information and show that. So we're going to add the city on the work order. So we'll just expand the query out a little bit to show me all work orders or all bookings that are in a certain time at a certain place. So we'll head back now to the schedule board. So as I say, we've just been navigating around quickly. If we go to the schedule board, we pull all of the jobs so we can see everything that's scheduled, who's scheduled, when it's due to happen. We can see the travel time in between the jobs. This is by using the RSO engine, so Resource Scheduling Optimization, which is more AI that works in the background, where you can define the jobs, the resources. It pulls that data, takes it away out to the Azure cloud. There is some machine learning there that will then populate the jobs.